and repairs, engine rebuilds and cylinder head repairs, and rebuilds with our in-house machine shop. They also have on-site DPF cleaning for exhaust issues and DOT inspections. If your diesel is asking for some attention, Shy Diesel has the specialist you need for anything diesel. Located in Terre Haute and Lafayette, Indiana, and Effingham, Illinois, Shy Diesel has you covered.
You work hard. You deserve a seat that works just as hard as you do. The Bostrom T-Series seat has provided drivers with comfort for millions of miles over the past 3 decades. Each seat is built right here in the USA and has 4-position front cushion tilt and higher low-profile air suspension with isolator. It's also equipped with many standard and optional comfort features, such as high and mid backrests, 9.4-inch fore-aft slide adjustment, adjustable armrests, and manual or dual-air lumbar support system to keep you comfortable throughout your ride. Build your T-Series seat today at BostromSeating.com and ensure your ultimate comfort for wherever the road takes you. Bostrom Seating, the ultimate comfort for the open road.
Keep the bugs off your glass and the smokies off your ass. This is the Overnight Drive with Steve Sommers.
Looking at 24 past the hour on a Wednesday morning. Pappy sent this to me this past day. And he kind of highlighted by any means or whatever means necessary or possible. This is saber rattling or it's just like giving you advance notice. A top advisor to several Chinese Communist Party think tanks, as well as the New York-based Asia Society, gave a stern warning to those opposing Chinese Communist Party takeover of Taiwan. He suggested the regime will pursue the policy by whatever means necessary. He declares, quote, "Nothing in the world can stand in the way of the unification of China," adding the goal would be accomplished through preferably peaceful means, but if not, peaceful means, whatever means possible. Unification of China is a must, he says. This is a stern warning to whoever in Taiwan who will oppose the reunification. All right. Beijing-linked influence groups such as the Beijing Energy Club, the China Energy Security Institute. He also had a presence in the U.S., serving as a member of the Asia Society's Global Council and a former vice president at Morgan Stanley Asia. The National Pulse had previously exposed the Asia Society for influencing curricula and personnel in American schools to align with social justice and globalism, reaching up to 4 million students and 100,000 educators. When asked about America's response to the Chinese Communist Party attempting to overtake Taiwan, he cautions, quote, "Wake up. No American leaders who will want to shed blood of American soldiers for the unification of China." That's a pretty profound statement. Do you think is that like the advance warning? It's coming, Pappy?
What's the phrase? Handwriting's on the wall, Steve.
Yeah.
And I got a pretty good idea. We ain't going to do a damn thing about it. We're just going to let them walk right in there, just like Hitler walked into France. Nothing. What's happening, man?
Not much. You out there playing in the rain tonight, or you got an off night?
Man, I am parked underneath a big overhang to get out of this rain, sitting here chilling, waiting for the next 35 minutes to come around so I can get out of this car.
Okay. Yeah, it's been raining.
Yeah,
it's
I'll
been raining here a
you.
couple hours. Like I got your email about the rain was coming. You were correct.
Yeah. See, I've been trying to get some exercise in, so I go down to Taylor High School and walk the laps down there at their football stadium. I've been trying to get some exercise in, and I was on about my last lap, and here it came. That's right about the time I sent you that. I said, man, you smoked your last cigarette dry.
Yep.
It's coming.
And I got my pool cover on yesterday, right on cue, right on schedule.
Hot dog.
Yep.
So I guess the princess got up and out of bed and didn't complain too much about it.
Believe it or not, it was.
Or did you wake her up early?
It was such a quiet, calm morning. I was able to go out there. You know, normally if the wind's blowing, you can't keep the damn thing from move. I was able to get in the water and just step by step go work my way around the pool, and went out there and strung that wire around it and did it all by myself.
Well, how about that?
Mm-hmm.
Ain't that something? You should feel good. You should feel proud of
And
yourself.
when the princess said, "Are you ready? Are you ready to put the cover on?" I said, "It's already on." She said, "What? What?" I said, "Yeah, I got it on there. It's done." How about that?
Man, I'm gonna say something, but I'll keep my mouth shut. I was just gonna say if she returned any favors to you, you know.
There you go. I'll ask her about that in the
Or
morning.
rub down or something. Man, Steve, you know, I got rid of Twitter. I don't know, about a year ago, maybe. Got rid of it. And a buddy of mine at work, he's on it. He was showing me some of these tweets, I guess, that some of these leftists are tweeting. And Bongino talked about this on his show, too, man. Steve, these people are flat out evil, man. You know, if Joe Biden came down with COVID, I would not wish death on that man. Seriously, I wouldn't.
Mm-hmm.
I don't, you know? And they showed this lady a picture of her in the hospital with oxygen mask on, dying, Steve. And I guess she came out and she was a opponent against, you know, wearing the mask. So all these leftists were making comments like, you know, how you like wearing the mask now, you know? I mean, just unbelievable. I mean, when Dan Bongino announced he had cancer, he was saying how these people would literally just wish him dead. You know, they did it with Rush Limbaugh, you know, the attacks he took.
Yep.
And when Trump got COVID, you know, they were wishing him dead. These people are evil, man. I'll tell you what, Chevy guy had it right. I mean, we're not saying nothing nobody already knows, but we got to get rid of these Romneys. And one thing you got to admire about the Democrats, Steve, is they stick together, brother. Right?
Mm-hmm.
They stick together. But we got these Republicans up there that will turn around and vote with the Democrats. I don't know. So, yeah, I think it's supposed to rain tomorrow, ain't it? If I'm not mistaken.
They were going to have quite a bit of rain through the day. This front is moving so slow. So, I mean, looking right now, the rain extends all the way back, and you're still to the Indiana-Illinois line. So it's going to rain through much of the morning, at least.
Damn. I was hoping to go down to the range on my off time and side in a couple new scopes I got, but might have to put that off. So, all right, it's at the bottom of the hour. I will let you go, Steve. Everybody out there, be safe, travel safe, enjoy your days working or your days off.
And thank you for checking in, Pappy. You do the same. Only about 30 minutes to go, all right? Okay, we got about 90 minutes to go here on a Wednesday morning and plenty of room for you. Lines available at 844-3388. The Steve Sommers Overnight Drive live from the Hot Shot Secret Studios.
USA Radio News with Dan Naraki.
Johnson & Johnson announced Tuesday that a second dose of their COVID vaccine has been shown to offer stronger protection against the virus. In a press release, the company said that the extra dose brings the efficacy of their shot to levels seen in the Pfizer and Moderna vaccines. Their one-dose version had shown a lower efficacy than those two. The new data from the company comes as the FDA has been reviewing data from Pfizer as the company seeks approval to administer a third dose as a booster shot. The company's data shows that 2 months after the initial shot would be ideal for the booster. Nearly 15 million Americans have received the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. And deaths from COVID-19 have remained on the rise in the U.S., now reaching levels not seen since March. New data from Johns Hopkins University shows deaths rising over 40% over the last 2 weeks, from about 1,400 to 1,900 a day. Health officials say that the vast majority of hospitalizations and deaths have been people who are unvaccinated. This is USA Radio News.
The old way of living with diabetes is a pain. You've got to remember to do your testing, and you always need to be sticking your fingers. The new way to live your life with diabetes is with a continuous glucose monitor. You simply apply a discreet, easy-to-use sensor on your body, and it continuously monitors your glucose levels, helping you spend more time in range and freeing you from painful finger pricks. If you test your blood sugar at least 4 times per day and inject insulin at least 3 times per day, or use an insulin pump and have private insurance or Medicare, you might be eligible for a CGM with little or no cost to you. Call U.S. Medical Supply today for a free benefits check. We offer free shipping, 90-day supplies, and we bill Medicare or your insurance directly. Call now and say goodbye to finger pricks.
800-763-1954. 800-763-1954. 800-763-1954. That's 800-763-1954.
Live from the Hot Shot Secret Studios, the Steve Sommers Overnight Drive.
You work hard. You deserve a seat that works just as hard as you do. The Bostrom T-Series seat has provided drivers with comfort for millions of miles over the past 3 decades. Each seat is built right here in the USA and has 4-position front cushion tilt and higher low-profile air suspension with Isolator. It's also equipped with many standard and optional comfort features, such as high and mid backrests, 9.4-inch fore-aft slide adjustment, adjustable armrests, and manual or dual air lumbar support systems to keep you comfortable throughout your ride. Build your T-Series seat today at BostromSeating.com and ensure your ultimate comfort for wherever the road takes you. Bostrom Seating, the ultimate comfort for the open road.
Whether you're a diesel pickup performance enthusiast or just looking for a small upgrade, when selecting common rail fuel system components, look no further than Exergy Performance. At Exergy, you'll find injectors, pumps, and more, engineered like no others on the market using state-of-the-art equipment run by people that have been in the business for decades. So if you're in the market for common rail components at any power level, contact Exergy Performance or one of the many dealers listed on our website at exergyperformance.com.
The Hot Shot Secret Facebook page gets a lot of robust Q&A about diesel problems and their solutions. We listen to our customers. Here are their words straight from their mouths about Hot Shot Secret Everyday Diesel Treatment. Our fans call it EDT.
I'm John Sharp, a.k.a. Jay Sharp from Newburgh, Pennsylvania. Using EDT, my local fuel mileage went to average of 22 to 23, and my highway MPG went to 26 to 28.
Hi, I'm Danny. I'm from Arizona. I drive an 02 Ford Excursion. I use EDT at every fill, and my mileage went from 12.5 miles to gallon to 14 miles per gallon. I highly recommend it.
Everyday Diesel Treatment delivers a 6-in-1 premium fuel treatment for every fill-up, every time.
Everyday Diesel Treatment is available at truck stops, Tractor Supply, O'Reilly's Auto Parts, and online at HotShotSecret.com. Hot Shot Secret, powered by science.
Are you having trouble sleeping? Are you tired all the time? Growing older is a fact of life. Our skin starts to wrinkle, muscles get weaker, and our energy levels plummet. If there was a product that may help you slow down these symptoms of aging, would you be interested? I want you to go to getonthegel.com. That is getonthegel.com. Watch this 4-minute video that explains more about this amazing product. Or call us at Youth Fountain HGH today at 513-472-0699 for more information.
Dean Michael, the tax doctor, here with Tax Help MD. As many of you know from Steve Sommers' show, I've been helping professional drivers solve their tax problems. I can help you too. If you've been struggling with back tax debt, call me now at 888-557-4020. Let's face it, these problems aren't going away all on their own. You need professional help so you can sleep better at night knowing you're in good hands. It's like I always say, keep your eyes on the road, I'll keep my eyes on the IRS. 888-557-4020.
For anything diesel, take it to Scheid Diesel. They provide a wide variety of services and diagnostics to determine what the problem is with the latest technology. From simple oil changes and preventative maintenance to fuel system diagnostics and repairs, engine rebuilds and cylinder head repairs, and rebuilds with our in-house machine shop. They also have on-site DPF cleaning for exhaust issues and DOT inspections. If your diesel is asking for some attention, Scheid Diesel has the specialist you need for anything diesel. Located in Terre Haute, Lafayette, Indiana, and Effingham, Illinois, Scheid Diesel has you covered.
The Overnight Drive with Steve Sommers. Live from the Hot Shot Secret Studios. Call Steve now. 844-844-3388. That's 844-844-3388.
Meanwhile, back to the southern border. Who's doing what? Oh, apparently Kamala Harris made a statement this past day that she's very concerned at the way Haitian refugees are being treated. Really? Oh, my. What have you done, Kamala? You were appointed border czar, 6 months ago at least, wasn't it? What have you done? I see absolutely nothing has been done. All right, top Republicans on the House Judiciary Committee demanding Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas get in here. What's going on with the Biden border crisis? In a furious letter to the House Judiciary Committee Chairman, Jerry Nadler, you've got Representatives Jim Jordan, Tom McClintock, Andy Biggs blaming Joe Biden's radical immigration policies for this crisis, and Nadler for not addressing the issue. This crisis continues to get worse. Despite the urgency of this situation, the House Judiciary Committee has yet to address the unfolding crisis. We have repeatedly urged the committee to examine the Biden border crisis, they wrote, all the way back to a March 4th request to Jerry Nadler that Mayorkas testify about the failure to secure the border. It was never answered. As the Secretary of Homeland Security, Secretary Mayorkas is the cabinet official primarily responsible for implementing the Biden administration immigration policies. As the committee of jurisdiction, his testimony before our committee is imperative. We urge you again to invite Mayorkas to testify before our committee immediately. As thousands of Haitian refugees gather at the Del Rio International Bridge, waiting to be processed. So Mayorkas goes on CNN and he said he's horrified by images that appear to show Border Patrol agents on horseback confronting some of the Haitian refugees there. He said, I'm going to let the investigation run its course. The images are troubling, but the pictures that I observed troubled me profoundly. Okay. According to CNN, video from both Reuters and the Al Jazeera appear to show law enforcement officers on horseback using aggressive tactics, confronting some of the migrants. I don't know. There was some sort of a video. It looked like it was a border agent with a whip or something. I don't know if that was true video or true photograph or what was actually going on. But he's complaining about the Border Patrol. What have you done to help the Border Patrol? And what are you doing to shut down this flow of millions? We've already got 1.3 million in. We're going to be approaching 2 million by the end of this year on the pace we've been on. But they don't even want to bring him in to testify. They being the Democrats. Jerry Nadler is the head of that committee. 17 before the hour, and back to the phones we go. Daryl, I believe, is next. Hello, Daryl. What's going on?
Hey, Steve. Happy Hump Day.
Yes, right back at you.
Hey, I've been listening to I've been listening to the show during the day. I've been running on days, and a lot of people talking about moving their money. I moved mine last Friday. I moved all my 401k into a safety net, and I'm not earning as much, but I'm not going to take the hit like we did back in 2008 with Obama and Biden in there,
Yeah.
So I just did it moving around, but a lot of people ain't got choice, they take them 401ks, they throw them in the market anyway, and you can direct it on which way you want to go or how aggressive you want to be, but I got out of that aggressive stuff and I got into a little bit safer, I just don't want to lose everything,
Yep.
And it looks like it's going that way. Go Biden in there,
Mm-hmm.
Eagle's right, he's an empty suit. But, I know a lot of people are kind of worried about that, but I just don't want to. I'm getting close to retiring. I'm going to probably go another year or two, but we'll see what happens. How much longer are you going to go? You got a ways to go?
Before retiring?
Yeah. Before you retire out.
I don't know. I guess until my voice peters out. Right?
Right, I got you. Yep. Hey, anyway, that FR3, I'm using that FR3. I'm looking for some of that Hot Shot Secret Extreme for the gas. Can I buy that over the counter at Tractor Supply or Walmart or Menards? Or do I got to call into the show for that?
The Gasoline Extreme, I'll have to double check. I know that's available somewhere, some retailers. I'll grab my little chart and pull it up for you.
Is it? Okay. I gotta get some of that stuff. That FR3 is working, it makes everything run a lot cooler on my end. I put that stuff in there and it just makes all the gearboxes and stuff run cooler and, it's really good stuff.
Yeah, but I believe it's available at AutoZone. Yeah, I was pulling up the Gasoline Extreme. I think it's available at AutoZone, it says here.
Oh, it is? Okay. I'll have to jump over there and get it. I've been checking Walmart and stuff. I figured, well, I'll give you a call and see if I got to order it direct out of you guys or something.
Mm-hmm.
But, So what's going on? You, that shot, you're not going to take that shot or anything, are you, Steve? For that COVID-19? I know a lot of people are talking about that.
Right. Yeah, I have not. Yeah, I've not taken it, and I don't at this point have anticipation to take it. Not yet. No.
Right. I'm hearing more and more. Like I told you, my doctor told me not to take it. I'm not gonna. They're pushing me at work, but I'm not. We got less than 100 people at work, so I'm not really gonna worry about the mandate on it if they push us to do it. If they do, I'll just wait till they fire me, and then I'll just go on. I'm not gonna take it. Just not gonna. I just had some other family members catch it. They had it for 2 weeks. They got through it all right, but they had it bad. They got through it just fine, But anyway,
Yeah, so
all right, Steve. Well, I'll cut you loose. I'll be calling more to you.
Yeah, one
back on nights.
Quick question again. I was looking here. Which were you looking for, the everyday diesel treatment or the gasoline treatment, the gasoline extreme?
No, I'm looking for a gasoline.
Okay.
I have a diesel.
Okay. Yeah, I was looking here. I mean, the everyday diesel treatment is AutoZone, O'Reilly, and Advance Auto Parts. I think they also have the Stiction Eliminator, the Diesel Extreme, and the FR3. I'm not seeing the gasoline extreme on there.
Okay. Hey, is that FR3 available in a 5-gallon bucket?
I think someone
Do you know, or is that something we'd have to?
Someone asked Chris about that, I think, a few weeks ago, and I don't know that. I don't think it was, but.
Okay, is that something maybe Chris could put together? When he's going to be on next month anyway, right?
Yeah, first.
To be on the show.
Yeah, October 1st. That would be, yeah.
Okay. Maybe I could call direct in and he can put something together for me and I get a 5-gallon bucket.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Okay, Steve. Well, hey, man, you have a good one.
Thank you for checking in, Daryl. Have a good morning. Good to have you with us live this morning because, he's been running days. Yeah, they just back in, October of 2020. So not quite, almost a year ago, when the everyday diesel treatment became available at AutoZone, O'Reilly's, and Advance. Additionally, everyday diesel treatment is available at over 1,000 authorized independent retailers. Let's see, with the addition of 15,000 new retail locations, everyday diesel treatment, anyway, can now be purchased at over 20,000 locations. There you go. Looking at about 11 before the hour, and who we got on the line? It says American cheese. So who we got?
It's American cheese. Hi, Steve.
It is American cheese. Well, how about that? Okay, that's a new one.
Yeah, that's my handle. Yeah, I wanted to talk about Joe Biden and Hunter Biden. And I think Hunter Biden's a genius. For the simple fact, if you remember that Hunter Biden was the one that chose Kamala Harris for vice president. And the Republicans are not going to impeach Joe Biden because, for the simple fact, everybody knows that Kamala Harris will become president.
Right.
Right?
That's true.
And so, and now if she's impeached, dummy number 2 is impeached, Kamala, then that means Pelosi will come in. And, it's nothing but gloom and doom. So the Republicans, that's why they're sitting on their fanny and they're not doing anything, So, yeah, they're stuck. They're really stuck. And, yeah, they're
even when they do, like I shared earlier, there's been 5 separate attempts to impeach, introducing articles of impeachment, but Pelosi's not even going to bring it up to the House floor. But I have heard behind the scenes, many Democrats are, they don't want Kamala to be in the position. So, exactly. we're pretty much stuck between a rock and a hard place. There's not a winning scenario.
Exactly. Yeah. That's why, the Republicans, they're quiet and they're not trying to impeach or anything because they know what's going to happen if they impeach this retard, So, yeah, it's just crazy. And, but I've been listening to the show for a few years now, and I remember when I found you on AM radio a while back.
Yeah.
And I remember, I used to be so happy just listening to you and, all the truckers on there. And I remember when you went off the air and everything. And there's something that's been bothering me, and I've been dying to tell you, before you got kicked off of iHeartRadio and all those other stations and everything. Now, there was this one preacher. He used to call in, and he was a Democrat. And do you know who I'm talking about? And he used to call in and rant and everything.
I would undoubtedly say the minister. That was his handle, the minister.
Right. That's him. I believe that he had to do with you losing your job and everything. And, just the whole radio station thing.
Mm-hmm.
I believe he was part of it. I believe that he was calling in, to iHeartRadio and all the, just making phone calls, to get you guys kicked off the air.
I can confirm the fact that I can confirm that there were phone calls being made to San Antonio, Texas, to the top bosses down there. I can't tell you who they were because I don't know. But yeah, there were individuals actively trying like hell to get me bumped, and I guess they succeeded. But here we are.
Hallelujah. Oh, I'm so happy, that you're back and everything. And it's just a relief because, I fall asleep to you every single night. Yeah. And, and I woke up right now and I'm having my coffee. I'm here in Illinois and, a rotten blue state, but yeah, I'm here and I'm happy that you're back. And, I wanted to add something too, if that's okay. You had a caller calling yesterday. He was saying that he was diabetic.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to let you and the other callers know about, I don't know if you know this, but nobody needs a prescription anymore for insulin or for syringes.
No prescription for even insulin? I wasn't aware of that.
Yeah. I want everybody to know this and to pass the word around to friends, family, everyone. Like you can walk, like if you're a diabetic or if your pets, your dog, your cat,
mm-hmm.
anyone who's diabetic, you can just walk into any Walmart, any pharmacy, anywhere in the United States and ask for a bottle of insulin. Any kind of insulin you want, just know your insulin, whatever. You don't need a prescription.
Right.
You don't need no doctor's approval for the insulin or the syringes. So
just the only thing you need, what you would need to know is, how much you're supposed to be taking, right? That I'm thinking back. I had my kitty cat, old Bernie. Bernie had needed insulin. He was a diabetic kitty cat. I'm going back several years ago, but it was kind of crazy. I mean, I'm thinking I could walk into my CVS store and ask for the vial of insulin, but they wanted a prescription for the needles. They didn't want to sell me needles without a prescription, and I thought that was so bizarre. So you could get the drug, but you couldn't get the needles. I actually had to get a hold of my veterinarian, and they, at the time had to give a prescription to get the needles for the kitty cat, which is kind of crazy. All right, we're rolling toward top of the hour where we'll get our news update and, of course, come back with a full final hour here on a Wednesday morning. Hump Day coming on. And does anyone in the world respect Joe Biden right now? I did not tune in, but apparently he actually had some comments this past day. And, of course, immediately you get response. The pundits start talking. The world is mocking. The world's mocking reaction to Joe Biden's address to the United Nations was not only predictable, but it shows there is no respect for this administration, according to the former National Security Council chief. Chief of Staff, Fred Fleitz. He says, quote, no one respects Joe Biden. And when he said in his speech, we're going to have a new era of relentless diplomacy, and he's going to rebuild America's alliances, the world knows he's lying. He is destroying alliances. He stabbed our allies in the back in Afghanistan. He stabbed the French in the back. I mean, just think of all the news coverage about this speech all over the world with the snide comments by commentators in every language saying that, frankly, Joe Biden's a liar. He compared Biden's first UN speech to that of former President Donald Trump, who called North Korea's Kim Jong-un Little Rocket Man, vowing to destroy the country if it attacked America or our allies. Now, Flight said, you may remember the foreign policy establishment went berserk over that. But that speech actually lowered tensions with North Korea because Donald Trump understood that a strong America is stabilizing. The North Koreans actually respect strength. He also hearkened back to the former Obama administration Defense Secretary Robert Gates that wrote and repeated the mantra that Biden was wrong about all of his foreign policy opinions for 40 years now. The sad thing is Joe Biden didn't have good sense in foreign policy when he was a young man. He was wrong about everything. Now, unfortunately, he's a man who's apparently acting senile, doesn't know what's going on, making decisions that don't make any sense. The blame is not just on the oldest president in U.S. history either. We need to share the blame on the shortcomings of his cabinet and his staff. He is surrounded by perhaps the weakest foreign policy team in history. Not only was Gates right then, but the situation is much worse now. We have a president who is incapable of keeping us safe. My solution would be that Biden desperately needs to bring in some men and women of gravitas and experience. Right? Henry Kissinger, Condoleezza Rice, Jim Baker. He needs people to rein him in and say no when he tries to do something that's frankly just bonkers. But that's what he's doing. There you go. All right, I think he's pretty much spot on there. Yeah, we got our final hour coming up. The Steve Sommers Overnight Drive live from the Hot Shot Secret Studios.
USA Radio News with Dan Naraki.
The House passed a bill Tuesday evening to fund the federal government through the end of the year and suspend the debt ceiling until next year. The bill, which would avoid a government shutdown on October 1st, was approved with a strictly party-line vote, though the measure appears headed for an uphill battle in the Senate. Minority Leader Mitch McConnell said earlier in the day that Senate Republicans would support a continuing resolution that funds disaster relief and assistance for Israel's missile defense system, but that the Democrats would have to address the debt ceiling on their own. And the FBI has confirmed that the body found near Grand Teton National Park over the weekend is that of missing 22-year-old YouTuber Gabby Petito. Teton County Coroner Dr. Brent Blue said Tuesday that the initial determination is that her death was a homicide. Police are currently searching for her boyfriend, Brian Laundrie, who was named a person of interest in the case last week, but disappeared himself. Police have been searching for him in a nature reserve in Northport, Florida. This is USA Radio News. This is USA Radio News.
Hi, I'm Wayne Alaroot for Patriot VPN. Patriot VPN is a virtual private network service that uses military-grade encryption to protect your internet connection on all of your devices. With Patriot VPN, your data and internet privacy is secure anywhere in the world. Why do you need Patriot VPN? Cyber criminals, government, even your own internet service provider collect and use your private information without your knowledge. Examples in the news recently, remember all the companies that have been hacked? Cuba censored the internet to kill protests? Here in America, conservative groups are being actively targeted. Your personal information and internet history is being sold by your ISP. It's all happening every day, but not with Patriot VPN. With Patriot VPN, your internet activity and history is protected from prying eyes forever. Patriot VPN is a veteran-owned business right here in the USA. For business or your family, starting at only $6.95 a month, use code WAR and get 3 months free. With an annual subscription, it's all at PatriotVPN.com. That's PatriotVPN.com.
Texas Governor Greg Abbott was at the southern border on Tuesday to highlight the continuing migrant crisis. Tim Berg has more.
Texas Governor Greg Abbott held a border security press conference in Del Rio to provide an update. Abbott saying illegal immigrants and asylum seekers are not only coming from the Northern Triangle countries of Central America, but from all over the globe.
What the world is witnessing now is the open border policies that are being utilized by the Biden administration. It attracts people from across the entire globe, including people coming from more than 150 different countries.
The Republican governor also saying the Biden administration knew this was coming. From the USA Radio News Phoenix Bureau, I'm Tim Berg.
And a magnitude 6.0 earthquake has struck near the Australian city of Melbourne. There have been no reports of injuries so far, with multiple reports of damage to buildings and thousands losing power in the region. The quake was centered about 80 miles from Australia's second largest city and is one of the largest recorded in the nation's history. This is USA Radio News.
Bingo lovers, you have to try Bingo Treasure, the bingo game you play anywhere. Go to BingoRadioUSA.com from your smartphone, your tablet, or your computer and play Bingo Treasure for free. Play one card, play more. Work your way through the maze of bingo fun. Bingo Treasure is bingo at the next level. Go right now to BingoRadioUSA.com for your free account and free play. Join the bingo revolution. It's free at BingoRadioUSA.com. That's BingoRadioUSA.com.
President Biden gave his first speech before the United Nations General Assembly on Tuesday in a wide-ranging address that covered topics from the pandemic to climate change. He spoke about the end of the war in Afghanistan, saying that the U.S. was embarking on an era of relentless diplomacy. He also made several references to China during the speech, saying that the U.S. isn't seeking a new Cold War, but would stand up for her allies and against attempts at regional domination. But Senator Steve Daines says the reality of the president's policies are very different from his speech. The South Dakota Republican tells Newsmax TV that all the White House has projected internationally is weakness.
He says we're embarking on an era of relentless diplomacy. I think the speechwriter should have said relentless failures, relentless weakness. That's what he's embarked upon. Notice he didn't mention China, the threat of China, the threat of Russia, the threat of Iran, what's going on in Venezuela, the threat of North Korea, the threat of radical Islamism and terrorism. Those are the threats that we need to confront as America, and he is projecting weakness. And I'll tell you what, when you have these countries that are bullies, that want to have their way, the worst thing you can do is have relentless weakness, and that is what President Biden is projecting, not relentless diplomacy.
And the roof of the Superdome in New Orleans caught fire on Tuesday as crews prepared a section to be repainted. The New Orleans Fire Department says the blaze was quickly controlled, but one person was transported to the hospital with minor burns. For USA Radio News, I'm Dan Naraki.
At Hot Shot Secret, we share the science behind common diesel problems and their solutions. For example,
ultra-low sulfur fuels.
The primary function of diesel fuel is combustibility. One of the little-known aspects of fuel is its role as a lubricant to metal-on-metal moving parts. The introduction of ultra-low sulfur fuels diminishes the fuel's ability to lubricate because sulfur, which has been mostly removed, has lubricating properties. Hot Shot Secret Everyday Diesel Treatment with LX4 delivers unmatched lubricity. Third-party testing confirms that it takes 3 times the amount of leading fuel treatment to match the lubrication benefit of 1 dose of Hot Shot Secret. Everyday Diesel Treatment is a fully formulated 6-in-1 premium fuel treatment for every fill-up, every time.
Everyday Diesel Treatment is available at truck stops, Tractor Supply, O'Reilly's Auto Parts, and online at HotShotSecret.com. Hot Shot Secret, powered by science.
Final hour, off and rolling here on a Wednesday, hump day, first day of fall. Coming up less than 12 hours from now, fall officially arrives. Going back to our Sunday night, Monday morning call program, I had one of our callers asking, I heard from Sylvester, things seem to be getting kind of ugly in the land down under. And talking about it, there's been some violence, protests taking place. It looks like the action has continued. Thousands in Melbourne protesting vaccine mandates and lockdowns, which occurred over the weekend and continued Monday and yesterday. Large crowds captured on video demonstrating, clashing with police, even chasing away police vehicles. Now, Melbourne, which is in the Australian state of Victoria, has strict lockdown measures right now, requiring people to stay home unless they're shopping for essential goods, caregiving, authorized by a work permit, exercise, or limited outdoor interaction in limited groups. That's Australia's second most populous city. One Twitter user showed videos of crowds clashing, chasing away several police vehicles. He said, "This is Melbourne right now." Melbourne got voted the top 10 safest city in the world Sunday. Fast forward to Tuesday. Herald Sun reporter tweeted, "Violent scenes just unfolded at today's protest. Additional footage of protesters throwing objects at police cars. 235 arrests, 10 police officers injured during the protest on Saturday alone, and in many of the videos, protests could be seen wearing orange and yellow protective vests commonly worn by the construction workers. According to the Washington Post, the Melbourne protest come after the city imposed these new COVID restrictions on construction workers in the city. They also mandated vaccinations for construction workers. One journalist on Sunday tweeted insane footage coming out of the Construction, Forestry, Maritime, Mining, and Energy Union. Construction workers protesting against the union's mandatory vaccination. So kind of, I don't know, have we not learned yet that lockdowns don't work? They've been tried, and they've been tried again. Really, all they do is slow the progression. They go all the way back to the very beginning. We're going to please just give us 14 days to flatten the curve. All we were looking to do was not overwhelm the hospitals, right? It doesn't stop the spread. As soon as the lockdown ends and people start getting out amongst each other, and that's why you have wave after wave after wave. Well, I think Canada's on is it their fourth wave taking place there? But I digress. Hello, Knucklebuster.
Morning, Mr. Steve Summers. I don't know about having a bunch of baloney today, but I got a few things we could talk about there. So, Pelosi is not a shoe-in for vice president even if they did impeach Joe Biden. But it would be after 2024, or 2022, rather, excuse me, if the Republicans can gain control of the House and the Senate. So, I mean, that's all iffies.
Yeah.
If that, so there's no guarantees. She'd like to be vice president, but I don't think she's ever going to get in there. I use my rewards card for fueling that Pilot and Flying J to buy all my Hot Shot Secret products there. It's easier to let Pilot and Flying J pay for it than it is for me to pay for it. Boss man pays for the fuel, and that's just a bonus there, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're only as successful as the staff that supports you. And you should take that to heart. I'm a very successful person, Steve, thanks to Mama Knucklebuster. And what's that old saying? Behind every successful man is a great woman. And I've got a great one, buddy. I think you got one too, right?
Thank you very much. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Well, I want to congratulate them Cards and Reds on being getting in that wild card there, man. Hey, imagine that. Might come down to a Cards Reds shootout there. That'd be pretty awesome there. Well, let's see. Let's get this sad news out of the way there. A guy by the name of Glenn Scotty Wolf. He was 88 when he died back in 1997. He was the world's most often married man. He got in the book of Guinness's Book of World Records there. He was a Bible pumping minister. Well, he was a Baptist minister. You reckon I should have told him that joke about why Southern Baptists don't make love standing up, right? Afraid somebody think we're dancing.
Right.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Well, he died in Blythe, California. His shortest marriage lasted 19 days, and his longest lasted 11 years. 3 of his marriages were to women he had previously divorced. I mean, what in the hell was he thinking? I mean, come on, I'd almost done that. He divorced and married his wife like 3 or 4 times, but I don't know. That was kind of crazy to me. Well, his body never got claimed when he died there. And out of 40 children, only 1 of them showed up for his funeral, and none of his wives did. So that's pretty sad, see. I mean, everybody wants to be famous. I don't know. I mean, that just don't make a whole lot of sense to me.
Doesn't sound like he was
getting record books like that and not have anybody to come to your funeral, you know.
Doesn't sound like he was the best father, husband. Well, sounds like nobody much cared for the guy. Now, why all these women married him is beyond me.
Well, his last wife was the most married woman there. She just done it for the publicity there. And then I read that Christian leaders are condemning the Evangelical Lutheran Church in America for its decision to install its first openly transgender bishop, calling the move a subversion of the creation order and proof that some mainline Protestant denominations have abandoned Christianity altogether. And I happen to agree with that statement. So I know all religions have their own problems there, but that's crazy. Well, I don't even know what transgender is. That a man thinks he's a woman, and is that kind of like old Caitlyn Jenner or Bruce Jenner out there in California?
That is correct. Yeah, a man thinks she's a woman or vice versa, transgender.
Wait a minute, let me barf back here in the back for just a second. Excuse me, I'm sorry. All right, well, but anyway, y'all buy some Hot Shot Secret products. You can get it at a truck stop, Truck Supply, I believe that's, yeah, you can get a whole lot of good stuff there. Buy you a headset from Stellar Electronics. Buy them Hot Shot Secret products. Protective fuel and oil additive from your diesel and gasoline expert. Put overnight drive code in the box at checkout. Get your 10 to 20% discount for being a veteran, being a CDL holder, or a first responder. Thank Mr. Chris DeBeltrick for free shipping in the good old U.S. of A. Got 100% money back guarantee if you get the poochy lip over one of their products. And don't forget to buy them Steve Sommers overnight drive products too. Baseball caps, travel mugs, and especially you women buy them T-shirts. Man, I like seeing Steve's name sitting up there nice and perky looking. Call that After Hours Show, and that's all my baloney, hogwash, and garbage for today.
All right, thank you, Knucklebuster. As always, yeah, buy those Hot Shot Secret products. He's the quintessential salesman. Yes, sir, he is. Hey, we'll get a quick time out. The Steve Sommers Overnight Drive live from the Hot Shot Secret Studios.
Live from the Hot Shot Secret Studios, the Steve Sommers Overnight Drive.
Some say their truck reflects who they are, dependable and reliable. That's why you trust Blue Def. Now the best just got better. Introducing Blue Def Platinum, a revolutionary innovation with advanced system shield technology to significantly reduce harmful deposits. To maintain fuel economy, save money on costly repairs, and sustain the life of your SCR system, there's only one DEF to choose. Blue DEF Platinum. The best just got better.
For anything diesel, take it to Scheid Diesel. They provide a wide variety of services and diagnostics to determine what the problem is with the latest technology. From simple oil changes and preventative maintenance to fuel system diagnostics and repairs, engine rebuilds and cylinder head repairs, and rebuilds with our in-house machine shop. They also have on-site DPF cleaning for exhaust issues and DOT inspections. If your diesel is asking for some attention, Scheid Diesel has the specialist you need for anything diesel. Located in Terre Haute and Lafayette, Indiana, and Effingham, Illinois, Scheid Diesel has you covered.
You work hard. You deserve a seat that works just as hard as you do. The Bostrom T-Series seat has provided drivers with comfort for millions of miles over the past 3 decades. Each seat is built right here in the USA and has 4-position front cushion tilt and higher low-profile air suspension with isolator. It's also equipped with many standard and optional comfort features, such as high and mid backrests, 9.4-inch fore-aft slide adjustment, adjustable armrests, and manual or dual air lumbar support systems to keep you comfortable throughout your ride. Build your T-Series seat today at BostromSeating.com and ensure your ultimate comfort for wherever the road takes you. Bostrom Seating, the ultimate comfort for the open road.
Keep the bugs off your glass and the smokies off your ass. This is the Overnight Drive with Steve Sommers.
Well, I bet I can answer that question. I'm looking at the story from Breitbart. I haven't yet watched or listened to the video. Because you got to listen. According to the report from Mediate, the crowd at a Howard University football game over the weekend roared in appreciation when Vice President Kamala Harris performed the coin toss ahead of the game. Harris was a member of the Howard class of 1986. Now, C-SPAN posted video of the event, and sure enough, the crowd reaction sounds like that from a horde of tens of thousands of fans. However, a scan of the stands reveals there was hardly anybody in the seats. How could so few fans generate so much noise? If the images below it's clear in the background images. There's Kamala on the field, walking out, waving to the crowd. It's at least 80% empty. And this, I believe, is a stadium that only holds about 20,000 to begin with. It's not a big arena. So my answer to the question is, well, remember last year when all these games were being played at stadiums around the country with no fans in the crowd? The stadiums were using the speaker systems to generate the crowd noise, so it felt to the players like there was somebody actually there. I think Kamala Harris got a big roar of applause from the speaker system at Howard University. Just saying, 21 past the hour. Who's next up here? Who we got on the line?
Steve.
Hey, Steve, what's up?
Oh, I didn't call in last night. I figured I'd give it a second go around tonight.
Why not?
Well, Steve, that's the only way she can get any attention. Fake attention. It's pretty darn funny, because I had heard that she went to that football game to flip the coin, and Joe Biden went to Wilmington to hang out in the basement and eat Jell-O while the border's wide open. You know,
Yep.
That's the thing, Steve. Have you heard from Kamala Harris?
No.
At all about anything?
First I've
see her?
I've seen of her is the photo I'm looking at where she appeared there on the football, on the football field over the weekend. I don't see or hear any damn thing out of her.
Yeah, she's missing in action, Steve. Our vice president,
our great vice president. What a joke. You know, you had read that United Nations article about Joe Biden was speaking in front of the UN. I had read a couple of lines in that, Steve. I kind of sifted through it. That's how interested I was in it. But something caught my attention. And you might want to go back and look at this. From what he said that it was going to be the therapeutics that get us through this COVID thing, not the vaccine. Am I misquoting that? That's what I'd like to know.
Who do you think said that? Who do you believe said that?
Joe Biden.
Joe Biden.
In front of the UN.
Interesting. Yeah,
Yes,
because, I mean, everything that's being done in the medical community here in this country, the NIH, the CDC, any sort of therapeutic that anyone tries to talk positively about, they shut it down and demonized. Ivermectin, hydroxychloroquine. I mean, I'm kind of surprised they even gave emergency use for the Regeneron thing.
Yep, I'm going to go back and try to find that article, Steve, when I get home, because I'm almost positive that they quoted him as saying, vaccines are not the answer, it's the therapeutics. So if he said that, then what the hell is a vaccine mandate for?
Yeah.
That's my question.
At the same time, they're demonizing any therapeutics.
Correct. So the other thing I wanted to mention was that caller who had just called in and mentioned that reprobate minister. I just want to tell Minister one thing, that he did us all a huge favor, Steve, because your program, if he indeed did do that, this platform that you have right now is 100 times better than what you had before. That's my opinion on that. The platform you have right now is tremendous. One other thing I wanted to mention, speaking of the minister, made me think of BLM and that Marxist movement. Did you happen, because I was out of the truck for a while, did you happen to touch on that story, Steve, from New York City about the BLM protesters at Carmine's Italian restaurant in Manhattan?
I did not. No, sir.
Monday at 5 o'clock, a bunch of BLM supporters, these Marxists, were blockading this man's restaurant because apparently last week there was some tourists in from Texas. 3 black women went into the restaurant. They showed their vaccine passport. They were seated. Right after that, 2 African-American men came in. They did not have a vaccine card. They were refused entry into the restaurant. And the black women that were in the restaurant got into a confrontation with the hostess, assaulted her, and they were finally, the police were called, and they were arrested and given a ticket for assault. They gave him a parking ticket, Steve, for assault. So this is what's funny about this whole story, Steve, is Monday, BLM was out in front of a Manhattan restaurant boycotting and protesting and calling the owner a racist about a vaccine mandate when their, I guess, pro-leader, Bill de Blasio, is the one that initiated the vaccine mandate in New York City. I think I'm correct on that. It wasn't the owner of the restaurant.
No, de
He was just
Blasio.
following the rules.
You are correct. De Blasio in New York City mandated for the bars and the restaurants. It caught them by surprise. And then one of Cuomo's last acts before exiting finally was on a statewide mandate.
Correct. And if I'm not mistaken, Steve, in the summer of 2020, Bill de Blasio of New York City painted a street with BLM logos in the street and actually named a street BLM Boulevard. Their supporter. So I wonder why they're not in front of City Hall protesting Bill de Blasio's vaccine mandates, or in Washington, D.C., protesting Dr. Fauci and Joe Biden's mandates. That just does not make any sense to me. Instead, they're attacking an individual restaurant owner, an Italian gentleman, and I'll tell you what, I think his sales are going to go through the roof for that advertisement that BLM just gave him. And then my last thing, Steve, is I told you last weekend I changed all the oils in my truck in my wife's SUV, and her tranny was slipping in her SUV, and I put in some of that shift restore in the transmission.
Yes, sir.
I've been driving it now for 3 days, Steve. Not one issue with the transmission. Running like a top.
How about that?
So I just want to thank Chris and all the guys at Hot Shot Secret for their products. Thanks again for putting you on the air. Thanks again, Minister. That's all I got, Steve.
All right, there you go. Got an email from, let's see, Dennis here a few minutes ago. Let me see, what time did he send that? A little less than an hour ago. Southbound 75, Brent Spence Bridge. Accident had the left lane closed. That was about 40 minutes ago, I think. So I just pulled up my email for the first time since then. So don't know if they've got that cleared yet, but if not, that's what your backup would be. Heads up there, right there at the Ohio-Kentucky line. All right, we'll get our news break in here and come back for our final segment, roll it into a Wednesday, hump day. The Steve Sommers Overnight Drive live from the Hot Shot Secret Studios.
USA Radio News with Dan Naraki.
The House passed a bill Tuesday evening to fund the federal government through the end of the year and suspend the debt ceiling until next year. The bill, which would avoid a government shutdown on October 1st, was approved with a strictly party line vote, though the measure appears headed for an uphill battle in the Senate. Minority Leader Mitch McConnell said earlier in the day that Senate Republicans would support a continuing resolution that funds disaster relief and assistance for Israel's missile defense system, but that the Democrats would have to address the debt ceiling on their own. And the FBI has confirmed that the body found near Grand Teton National Park over the weekend is that of missing 22-year-old YouTuber Gabby Petito. Teton County Coroner Dr. Brent Blue said Tuesday that the initial determination is that her death was a homicide. Police are currently searching for her boyfriend, Brian Laundrie, who was named a person of interest in the case last week, but disappeared himself. Police have been searching for him in a nature reserve in Northport, Florida. This is USA Radio News. This is USA Radio News.
Hi, this is Dr. Joel Wallach, and I want to tell you that arthritis is not a genetic thing. It's not a disease of aging. Neither is osteoporosis. Get a hold of my book. It's all in your head. It goes into the 25 different diseases you get when you have osteoporosis of the skull. These are all reversible. You take the Healthy Bone and Joint Pack, the MSM, vitamin D3, stay away from all the bad foods, including gluten, and guess what? You'll regrow all your bones, including your skull and your legs and your hips and everything else. Contact us at usaradiohealth.com. That's usaradiohealth.com.
Friends, my Glendale's My Pillow, my slippers make my feet feel better than they have in about 20 years. My Pillow proprietary foam, memory foam, patented impact gel, indoor-outdoor soles. You won't want to take them off, or Mike Lindell will give you your money back. Go to mypillow.com, click on the radio listener special, use my promo code USA, or call 1-800-951-8175 and save 40% using my promo code USA.
It's the fans' chance to see the best. It's the pullers' chance to be the best. And after a light shower, 9 regional classes have their moment in the sun. From National Tractor Pullers Association headquarters in Columbus, Ohio, this is the NTPA Overnight Radio Report. It was an Enderley pull-off for the ages. A massive audience of pulling junkies, interested townsfolk, and curious newcomers filled Ohio's Champaign County Fair grandstand to watch 100 of the best in the world. We'll congratulate next week all the Grand National winners, but for now, let's show a little love to the regional national competitors, many of whom just made their longest pulling journey to date and will return home with glorious tales that will sustain them throughout their pulling careers. In stainless diesel, 8,000-pound Pro Stock diesel 4x4 3.0 trucks, it was Rob Wright of MacArthur, Ohio, taking the test hook on the infield track to 359 feet aboard his all-attitude Dodge. And the win over Jeff Hostler's Flirting with Disaster, Nick Stom's Frank, and Brian Shue's Iron Maiden. In 9,500-pound limited Pro Stock tractors, Kevin Lindstrom of Ellsworth, Wisconsin, perpetuated his knack for invitational wins with a 352-foot victory aboard his Hyper Harvester International. Colin and Chris Lear followed with their Darien Deer and Badger Deer, Mike Sather with Adrenaline Rush, and James Geezy with Hicktown Hurricane. In 9,300-pound Super Farm tractors, Dave Whelan's test hook on the My Last Excuse IH held up and got another trophy for his mantle in Tipton, Michigan. Jeff Casey's Whoopie Maker was second, and then Jeff Martine's Hustler, Dan Schulte's Binder Express, and Mark Miller's Diggin' Deep. In 6,200-pound four-wheel drive trucks, Ike Zering of Fillmore, Indiana crossed another one off the Bucket List Dodge's weight box with a 332-foot class ender. Following were David O'Connor's Nasty Boys, Mick Broughton's Shock Treatment, Carol Suki's Totally Geared, and Andy Skluzacek's Colonel. In 2,050-pound modified minis, Todd Boltman's Stress Relief came down from Zeeland, Michigan to give them headaches at 342 feet. Ken Boltmeyer's Wampas Express Flipside, Brian Goose's Grandpa's Disaster, Scott Van Antwerp's Playing Dirty, and Tim Ray's Methanol Madness all challenged the Bowerbilt Iron Boy weight transfer. In 8,000-pound heavy superstocks, John Pfeiffer's Pfeiffer Max matched the Mini's best pass to claim the victory. Ken Rockner's Long Haul Harvester had the second longest tote, while Joe Degenhardt's Diggin' Hard unfortunately could not answer the call. In 6,200-pound two-wheel drive trucks, Jeff Reitzel's At It Again, Did It Again. The C-Cab Ford from Orient, Ohio hauled the mail out to 375 feet to eclipse Wayne Timmerman's Showtime. Dave Coughlin's Final Drive, Matt Seitz's Buckeye Hooker 2, and Dustin Amundsen's Bottoms Up filled the field. In 8,500-pound light pro stocks, Evan Smoot of Eaton, Indiana got the John Deeres on the board with a 10-inch margin of victory on Barnyard Bandit over Nip and Tuck competitor Sean Thornhill's Missy's Pissy. Colin Burkholtz's International 1456, Travis Tilton's Always Something, and Mike Palmer's Red Avenger Classic also made fine passes. And in 7,500-pound modifieds, Les Corporal's Corporal Punishment from Marion, Indiana survived a false start and recovered to win. Todd Feist's Snow Farmer, Ken Miller's Corn and Soybean Special, Terry Feist's Feisty Farmer, and Adam Revere's Iron Phoenix also brought the noise to the Interleague. Again, GN finishers will be discussed next week after the Dragway 42 Fall Shootout in West Salem, Ohio this Saturday, September 25th. You can also watch the replay of the running of the 34th Enderley Pull-Off at ntpa.tv and get a complete list of winners at ntpapull.com. Reporting for the NTPA on the Overnight Drive, I'm John Dunlap. Stay safe and pull.
Live from the Hot Shot Secret Studios, the Steve Sommers Overnight Drive.
Hi, this is Pete Matouche. In 1999, my brother started the Turbo 3000. We're proud to continue on with his legacy.
The fuel that you've spent your hard-earned money on is completely burned, and that's your profit going right back where it belongs, in your pocket.
For our Canadian customers, you can get the Turbo 3000 from manufacturer direct. Call us at 888-567-1007. For a limited time, save $45 off total purchase using coupon code STEVESAVES at turbo3000.com.
For the last 15 years, the Big Rig Mattress has been manufacturing a premium residential mattress for over-the-road truckers. The main support component of the Big Rig Mattress is an individually pocketed spring core that delivers the optimal amount of support exactly where you need it. Check out thebigrigmattress.com to learn more about this exceptional mattress. Many sizes are stocked and can ship within 72 hours. Custom sizes also available. 100% made in the USA since 2009.
At Hot Shot Secret, we share the science behind common diesel problems. For example,
turbocharger spool time.
Turbochargers are designed to increase the efficiency and power of the diesel engine by forcing compressed air into the combustion chamber. Temperatures inside the turbo can reach upwards of 400 degrees. The oil meant to lubricate the bearings will burn, leaving behind a sticky residue called stiction. The turbo's ability to spool up quickly is hindered because the stiction-covered bearings can't spin properly. Hot Shot Secret Stiction Eliminator cleans the stiction from turbo bearings, reducing spool time, and builds maximum boost sooner in the RPM range. Stiction Eliminator is a synthetic cleaner plus nano lubricant that contains no harmful solvents and is formulated to be left in the engine to safely dissolve stiction for thousands of miles. It works as you drive.
Hot Shot Secret Stiction Eliminator, available at truck stops, Tractor Supply, O'Reilly's Auto Parts, and online at hotshotsecret.com. Hot Shot Secret, powered by science.
Drivers, you demand that your equipment's reliable and dependable, and that also applies to your headset for communication. Well, our friends at Stellar Electronic have you covered. The Pluto Duo headset bundle is the best communication headset you can find in the industry. No matter the challenging environment you're driving in, the Pluto headset will make you sound crystal clear all the time thanks to their 99% noise cancellation. And the Duo's not only a stereo converter for the headset, but also a power bank so you can charge as you go. Learn more at StellarElectronic.com or visit them on Facebook.
For anything diesel, take it to Shy Diesel. They provide a wide variety of services and diagnostics to determine what the problem is with the latest technology. From simple oil changes and preventative maintenance to fuel system diagnostics and repairs, engine rebuilds and cylinder head repairs, and rebuilds with our in-house machine shop. They also have on-site DPF cleaning for exhaust issues and DOT inspections. If your diesel is asking for some attention, Shy Diesel has the specialist you need for anything diesel. Located in Terre Haute and Lafayette, Indiana, and Effingham, Illinois, Shy Diesel has you covered.
PureFlow AirDog, your leader in fuel air separation system technology. Our systems filter out water, particulates down to 2 micron, and remove all of the air out of your diesel fuel. This allows for nothing but pure, clean diesel fuel to reach the expensive injection system equipped in your vehicle. Not only do our fuel systems protect, they also come in a variety of flow rates to meet your performance needs. Our systems are compact and use OEM-style fittings for easy installation. Learn more about our product at www.pureflowairdog.com and be sure to follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Protect your investment with PureFlow AirDog.
Because Channel 19's a little congested. Call Steve now at 844-844-3388. The Overnight Drive.
Yeah, obviously by now we've all figured out Joe Biden's handlers don't want us asking him any questions. He will embarrass himself. Yesterday was a prime example. Members of the White House press pool, pretty much all of them, lodged a complaint with the White House after aides pushed them out of the Oval Office moments after the British Prime Minister Boris Johnson and Joe Biden appeared to take questions from American reporters. Moments after the meeting with Johnson and Biden abruptly ended, it appeared Johnson was about to ask, "Are there any questions?" when a group of White House aides formed what they called a blockade between the leaders and the journalists. Thank you, thank you, thank you. They were all shouting, "All right, go, 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 out of here." Now, apparently, Boris Johnson actually did recognize 2 British reporters for questions. Joe Biden then signaled it was time for the press to leave without taking any questions from his own press corps. According to the report, the entire editorial component of the U.S. pool went immediately into the White House press secretary Jen Psaki's office to register a formal complaint that no American reporters were recognized for questions in the president's Oval Office, and the wranglers loudly shouted over the president as he appeared to be trying to give an answer to Ed O'Keefe's question about the situation on the southern border. But you couldn't hear Biden because of all the shouting from his handlers. One reporter, being ushered out of the Oval Office, said, "That's absurd. 2 British reporters get questions and we don't get anything." Now, Western Journal had a story this past day which pretty much clarifies that. If you hear a Biden staffer call for the wall, this is the obnoxious thing that happens next. Now that he more routinely gives comments to the media on his own, he's said on more than one occasion that he'll get in trouble if he speaks to reporters for too long. Jen Psaki, of course, gained quick notoriety for constantly telling reporters she'd have to circle back on that to their questions about the actions being taken, sparking speculation that she may not even have access to the president. Regardless of how much contact Psaki is being given, she has made clear she's not a big fan of letting him talk to reporters unsupervised. Yeah, Biden aides work to keep the president away from unscripted events or interviews for the sake of avoiding his signature gaffes. Essentially cocooning the president, known by his aides as the wall. So when you hear him say the wall, that's when they all the handlers get up. No more questions. No more questions. I mean, how often they've abruptly cut him off. All right, back to the calls. And what's happening with the big moose this morning?
Hey, bud, how you doing?
I'm doing all right on the home stretch here on a hump day. Are you playing in the rain tonight?
Yeah, I had to play truck driver. It wasn't in the plans, but Peter said that he wasn't feeling too good, so I said, well, I guess I have to play truck driver this week after all. But no, I was sitting there listening to everybody and everything that's going on. And you remember years ago when we was kids, they told us that story in elementary school about the emperor's new clothes.
Mm-hmm.
You remember that tale?
I do, yes.
Yeah, about how that fabric was so fine that only the intelligent people could see it. And if you couldn't see it, you were a dummy. So everybody pretended to see it. That's what we're dealing with right now. We've got a classic case of the emperor's new clothes here. This is a facade drummed up, and they're using this. And if you don't see what they're projecting, then you're a fool. But the fact of the matter is, we're naked before the world, and like in the story, it was a child that had to point out, hey, this fool's not wearing the thing, and the rest of the world is pointing that out now. We're literally naked before the world as a nation, and it's pitiful, and the number of seemingly intelligent people that are going along with this is just mind-boggling. You can turn on a television and see with your own eyes what's happening. Even a child could figure it out. Joe Biden is absolutely clueless. Joe Biden doesn't even know he's Joe Biden. Joe Biden doesn't even know he's the president. Joe Biden can't even put a cognitive sentence together. He sat there the other day and held that binder up over his face. Looked like a whipped pup up there.
Mm-hmm.
And he mutters and stammers and carries on. And it gets pitiful, man. I tell you what, you're going to see a lot of things are going to be changing in this country rapidly, and I don't think there's going to be any stopping it. Every time, they first said, if you get vaccinated, you're done. No more masks, you go about your lives, everything. Well, that was a lie. Now it was, you need a booster shot. Well, now if you need a booster shot, you still need to wear your mask. And now if you don't have your vaccine papers, you're going to have to, not go to the gym, not go to the store, not go here, not go there, and this was all played out before in other parts of the world, and it's happening here,
Yes, sir.
And our votes don't matter anymore. Look there in California, people were showing up to vote. Oh, you've already voted. Well, it's bad, and I appreciate the optimism of some folks, but I tell you what, I'm not very optimistic at this point because it's too far gone. You remember one time the English built a big old ship and touted that not even God himself could sink that ship. Well, wrong.
It sunk.
And there was some of them that thought until they saw the stern light go under the waves, there was some of them that still thought that there's no way this ship can sink. Well, I'm telling you, we're going down, and I can see it coming. Sure as God made little green apples, and we got all these people telling us that you're a fool if you don't believe if this ain't the right way. What we're doing ain't right, you're a fool, and That's okay too, but I'm not buying it. I'm not buying into this vaccine thing. I'm not buying into this totalitarian government that we've got working on us. I'm not buying into none of that crap. And if they tell me that I'm going to have to have this vaccine and I'm going to have to fall in line and I'm going to have to take orders to live my life, well, I'm going to tell you something about me, buddy. Like old Bo Sheeper said one time, I can skin a buck and I can run a trot line. Don't think for a minute I won't take my old dog and my 30-06 and go up on a mountain somewhere, and it'll take 10 men, a mule, and a swarm of bees to smoke me out, you know. But that's fine too. But like I said, I've hit a pretty good lick. I ain't got no complaints. I just hate it for the kids, man. I hate it. I hate it for the kids because this is not going to end well, and it's going to get a whole lot worse, and I don't believe it's ever going to get, it'll never be what it once was, and I doubt it's going to get any better than it is right now. But I'm just full of good news tonight, ain't I? But anyway, I'll shut up. We're rounded third, headed for home here time-wise, so keep it Twixer spotted in the solid, sunny side up, breezy side down, and we'll be 10-10 till we do it again.
All right, be careful playing out there in the rain. I think we got more rain coming our way. Yes, indeed. Going to be kind of a soggy, especially first half of the day. Let's see. Truck and Phil checking in. Semper as always. Morning, Steve, and the Hot Shot Secret Nation. Coffee up. Happy hump day. A beautiful, cool, rainy morning. Down to 55 degrees. Looks like it's going to stay the same up in Michigan today. Rainy, rainy, rainy. Anyway, have a great day. Ready to depart Fort Wayne, headed for Sterling Heights, Michigan, and make the flip back once again. And I hope you have a safe trip there. Thanks for checking in. Back into the Steve Sommers Overnight Drive, live from the Hot Shot Secret Studios.
You're listening to the Overnight Drive with Steve Sommers.
PureFlow Air Dog, your leader in fuel air separation system technology. Our systems filter out water, particulates down to 2 micron, and remove all of the air out of your diesel fuel. This allows for nothing but pure, clean diesel fuel to reach the expensive injection system equipped in your vehicle. Not only do our fuel systems protect, they also come in a variety of flow rates to meet your performance needs. AM-style fittings for an easy installation. Learn more about our product at www.pureflowairdog.com and be sure to follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Protect your investment with PureFlow Air Dog.
Drivers, you demand that your equipment's reliable and dependable, and that also applies to your headset for communication. Well, our friends at Stellar Electronic have you covered. The Pluto Duo headset bundle is the best communication headset you can find in the industry. No matter the challenging environment you're driving in, the Pluto headset will make you sound crystal clear all the time thanks to their 99% noise cancellation. And the Duo's not only a stereo converter for the headset, but also a power bank so you can charge as you go. Learn more at StellarElectronic.com or visit them on Facebook.
Some say their truck reflects who they are, dependable and reliable. That's why you trust Blue Def. Now the best just got better. Introducing Blue Def Platinum, a revolutionary innovation with advanced system shield technology to significantly reduce harmful deposits. To maintain fuel economy, save money on costly repairs, and sustain the life of your SCR system, there's only one DEF to choose. Blue Def Platinum. The best just got better.
Because Channel 19's a little congested. Call Steve now at 844-844-3388. The Overnight Drive.
All right, back at it here on a hump day. Hey, first day of fall. Fall arriving later this afternoon. Morning, Lone Ranger.
Good morning. Steve, the reason they refer to Joe Biden as the wall is because he has something in common with the wall. They both can answer a question with the same ability. If you talk to the wall, you'll get the same response when you ask a question as if you talk to Joe Biden. That's why they call him the wall. They just had a guy on from Great Britain, a spokesman, And he was talking about the United Nations meeting there where they shuffled him out, and Boris Johnson got to try to answer a couple questions. He said in the history of this country and the relationship with Great Britain, they've never seen America in such a dire situation. It's embarrassing. And the White House press corps actually filed some type of an official complaint because they said, we are the White House press corps and we have the right to ask questions and get an answer. So they filed an official complaint. And it wasn't just, it was some of the left-wing propaganda channels too. It wasn't just the ones that actually report the news and don't spin it. It was the left-wingers too. The thing in New York City, the reason why it'll continue is because, like the one gentleman said, they got a parking ticket for an assault. You need to be arrested, put in handcuffs, and go to jail for an assault. That was the crime. The crime wasn't being illegally parked. So again, that goes back to City Hall because the cops are doing what they're instructed to do. But the reason they won't protest City Hall is because de Blasio is a Democrat. And the one thing you have to admire about Democrats, they stick together. But if you want to get rid of BLM, just give them money because basically they're a shakedown organization. And when you give them money, they've been quiet for a while ever since it was reported that one of the founders took millions of dollars and bought several homes in California in white neighborhoods. So give them some money and they'll keep quiet. They learned that a long time ago from Jackson, Sharp, and all the rest of the hustlers. This country, now, I think one of the reasons, I can't figure out how Biden is still there. He should have been arrested for treason as soon as he supplied the Taliban with weapons. That's got to be a treasonous act, supplying the enemy with weapons. I never heard of such a thing. But the reason he's still there is because as soon as he goes, we get Camel Toe.
Yep.
And she, so far, only has shown she has two talents. The talent she has that got her where she is the same talent that Monica Lewinsky had. She's real good at playing the slide trombone. So now we find out that she has another talent, which is flipping a coin. But neither one of those talents are going to help her run the country. Unless when she goes to the world meetings, like the one at the UN, she's under the table instead of at the table. That might help. But there's nobody there to replace the worst, absolute worst president in the history of the country. He can't even call himself a president because he is not qualified to do the job that a president does. He can't even answer a question. Now, his approval rating in a couple of the battleground states is down in the 30s. And they're saying it's going to be a bloodbath next year in the elections. And the one that tipped the scale was the way he handled Afghanistan. That has people really upset. So now we're looking at this border crisis. So it's going full bore and has been going full bore. First, it was people from Honduras and Guatemala. Now you got people from Haiti. But Joe Biden, like the other caller mentioned, while she's flipping a coin, she's our immigration czar, and he's on vacation at his home in Rehoboth Beach, Delaware. While this crisis is going on, there's nobody in charge, nobody doing anything except, of course, Border Patrol, and they're overwhelmed. Now they're trying to change the story to the Border Patrol agents on the horses whipping the migrants.
Look at these horrible Border Patrol agents. They weren't
whipping anybody. Right. They have to take the attention off the real problem. It's called deflection. Now, they said right on the news, the Border Patrol used whips on these people, and that reminds me of slavery. Right away, they got to bring race into it. Well, if you look at the video, you see that these people were attacking the officers on the horses, and they are not equipped with whips. Again, fake news. And the reins that they use are long reins because that's what they use to control a horse, and they do use it. It's called crowd control. When somebody attacks you and your horse, you have to defend yourself. So if you don't attack the horse, you don't have to worry about what happens. But, they twist the narrative. I've never seen such a mess in my life. Now, day before yesterday, stock market dropped 600 points. And I tuned into one of the financial channels, and they said, if we have another day in negative territory, that is a very bad sign. So the last time I looked yesterday, it was still down 50. It did not recover. Usually when it drops, the prices go down and people grab some, make some investments, but it did not recover. So I have to make a decision here next couple of days, because they said that the day that Joe Biden announces that this big, massive tax increase bill goes through is the day of the massive sell-off. And I don't want to get to that point, because when that happens, the value is going to go way down to the portfolios, and I'm not going to sit and watch that happen. My dad worked too hard for that money and waited too long to get to where it is for me to sit here and do nothing and let it just go away because of Joe Biden. So I got to make a serious decision here next couple of days. I'll see how it goes, but I think it's pretty much time for me to cash in, and I can do better with the money myself than waiting for the stock market. And I don't know where we're going to go, Steve. There's nobody. Joe Biden should have been out of there a long time ago. He's only been president for 8 months, and he's got this country in worse shape than it's ever been in history. He's a do-nothing, know-nothing president, can't even answer a question. The alternative is Kamala Toe. She does nothing. Never see her asking questions in an interview. And when she does, she tries to change the subject, which she did yesterday. She changed it to the Border Patrol guys whipping the migrants. Now, if they were doing their job, the migrants wouldn't even be there. They're there because of the White House and their policies. They canceled out Trump's stay in Mexico policy.
The failed
but
policies.
She didn't say anything about that. It was all about whipping. They change the narrative, and right away they get people riled up. Oh, that's like slavery. They play the race card every time.
Yep.
But it's a big mess, and I don't know how we're going to make it. But anyway, I know we're out of time, so I'll see you later.
All right. Today, day number 2 of the Farm Science Review. Josh and Kyle are up there. Yeah, hoping that the weather holds out. The Farm Science Review, the Molly Karen Agriculture Center there in London, Ohio. Kind of this has for years been the highlight. Talking about the future of agriculture, typically bringing in 100,000 visitors. So that continues today and Thursday. Again, Josh and Kyle there on site with the Hot Shot Secret Vendor booth and a special display vehicle. If you get up to the Farm Science Review, make sure to stop by and say hi to the guys there. Have a great hump day. See you back at the midnight hour tonight. Join us here for the Steve Sommers Overnight Drive live from the Hot Shot Secret Studios.
You'll never guess the places that I've been. You never guess the places that I've been. 'Cause everything is like a dream, yeah, but only in that dream that I live in. I'm never gonna let the day begin. Never gonna let the day begin. 'Cause everything is like a dream, yeah, but only in that dream that I live in. Oh, don't wake me up before you go, and I'll just make this bed my home. Oh, darling, please just let me sleep. Give me my dreams. Better from above. Nothing's ever as it seems, yeah, except in that world that I dream of. ones I love. Never gonna lose the ones I love. 'Cause everything is like a dream, yeah.